2018 Citroën C3 Review. The good points of Citroën C3. Quirky, attractive styling. Personalization options. Very comfortable interior. Impressive ride. Lots of safety kit. The bad points of Citroën C3. Looks won't suit everyone. Jerky auto gearbox. No autonomous braking available. Not the sharpest drive. For long the Citroën C3 ended up overlooked. While it had similar looks to your classier, and even more popular, DS3, it never quite had exactly the same impact for the supermini sector because it is sleek and stylish stablemate. But this third-generation version, filled with C4 cactus-style looks and air bumps, incorporates a raft of technology aboard to take the fight on the big hitters inside the class, including the Ford Fiesta, Vauxhall Corsa and Volkswagen Polo. Quirky looks and personalization. Outside it's a chunky-looking little thing, with squinty LED daytime running lights much like the rest in the Citroën range, low-sit headlights, instantly recognizable cladding about the side with the car and several personalization options within the form of different body, roof and mirror colors. It certainly grabs your attention, and that's a vital thing for buyers. These cars, they're largely used out and about and customers just like the idea of being bold from the hordes of Fiestas, Corsas and Polos. The truth is on the roads. Inside, the C3 takes more inspiration on the Cactus, having a simplified dash design, having a touchscreen multimedia system, luggage strip-style door handles and lots of choices with the seat and dash trim. The best benefit is it feels very light and airy on account of big windows, light materials as well as the option of your panoramic sunroof, too. Efficient engine lineup. All engines inside the C3 are normally found in other Citroën, DS and Peugeot cars, so they're thoroughly tested and all pretty cheap to operate. The handiest, unsurprisingly, include the Bluetooth diesels. The 75 horsepower version emits 85 GkM of CO2, even though the more powerful 100 horsepower version still falls well within the magic 100 GkM barrier. Petrols are impressive too. The worst offender emits 109 GkM of CO2, so it's not gonna cost much to tax. Advanced connectivity and safety tech. For this type of small car, the C3 packs a mighty punch on the subject of technology. While there's nothing new or groundbreaking about using the touchscreen infotainment system nowadays, the C3 is sold with mirror screen on feel and flare trims including Apple CarPlay for iPhone users, with Android Auto coming afterwards. The headline-grabbing feature is undoubtedly an integrated dash cam, Citroën calls it connected cam, that enables drivers with the idea to capture moments they need to save for social websites, or potentially from the event of any sort of accident to capture evidence. It certainly saves having messy wires dangling around your dashboard, a standard issue with retrofit dash cams, and might be beneficial in the event the worst should happen. Citroën has piled for the safety technology, too. Lane departure warning and speed limit recognition are standard over the range, while blind spot monitoring is usually available. Handy features like hill start assist and also a reversing camera are found for the options list, but there's no autonomous emergency braking available, not really as an option. The verdict. Rather like Citroëns of old, the C3 is of a Marmite car. It has quirky styling, a soft ride that's rather at odds with the remaining supermini pack, and also a distinct lack of an sporting model to incorporate an element of sexiness. On a practical level, it's roomy, and many types of models are economical and sprightly to operate a vehicle. The interior is airy and spacious, and most and the touch points feel durable, and appearance good. The main letdown will be the iffy ergonomics that are included with the infotainment screen, as well as the car's reliance of computer for important systems, such as the climate control. Despite all of that, it is a likable car of immense appeal, so if you are one of those who Citroën is targeting with this particular car, as there are no doubt it is possible to happily buy with assurance. We chance a Citroën C3 for half a year. What's it love to live with? Watch the whole Citroën C3 hatchback review, whether it's a compelling choice inside supermini sector. Turbocharged petrols and diesels but no sporty ones. Petrol units better suited, especially the PureTech 110. Diesels make more sense for regular motorway driving. Citroën hasn't made any bold claims concerning the C3 being probably the most involving car rolling around in its segment, and that's simply a good thing. It's positioning itself firmly within the comfort camp and, using this in mind, it performs well. There's numerous turbocharged engines available, from efficient diesels to punchy petrols. Petrol engine choices. Kicking from the range is really a 1.2-liter PureTech 68 engine. You guessed it, it offers 68 horsepower. It will also change from 0-62 miles per hour in the fairly leisurely 14.0 seconds and onto a premier speed of 107 miles per hour. We tried the nippy PureTech 82 petrol, which felt quicker than its 0-62 miles per hour use of 12.8 seconds suggests, even if this falls to 13.0 seconds in the event you spec it with larger alloy wheels. Despite its meager 82 horsepower, the PureTech 82 felt eager as a result of its torquey engine, having a characterful 3-cylinder growl coming from in the bonnet, egging yourself on. You lot to change down a few cogs should you're met that has a hill and must put your foot down, but about the whole it's an extraordinary engine. The PureTech 110 has more vigor, together with the manual version going from 0-62 miles per hour in 9.3 seconds. Overtakes may be conducted with surprising haste because engine makes good using its muscular 205 Nm of torque to surge past slower obstacles. Even together with the power-sapping E6 automatic gearbox, the 110 motor still feels more urgent compared to the PureTech 82. Economical diesel engines. If that suits you, diesel power, you'll be able to choose between 75 horsepower and 100 horsepower versions of a similar 1.6-liter Bluety unit. The former takes 13.7 seconds to range from 0-62 miles per hour and reaches a high speed of 106 miles per hour. As you move, the latter cuts this down by 3 or more seconds to 10.6 seconds and may top out at 115 miles per hour. What they lack in outright power, they cook up for that has a useful level of torque. The Bluety 75 has 233 Nm from the stuff, plus the Bluety 100 has 254 Nm. Gearboxes. All engines from the C3 lineup come having a 5-speed manual gearbox. It has exactly the same issue as other Citroën manual transmissions, as there's a rather long throw, but it's reasonably precise to use action. The E6 6-speed automatic is undoubtedly an option limited towards the quickest model, the petrol-engined PureTech 110. Around town it's jerky and also a bit too needing to get going, while stop-start traffic plus the stop-start system only accentuates this. On the open road it's for cruising, but demand any more on some twisty components of tarmac, plus it becomes easily confused, struggling to produce its mind up in side bends, changing up or down mid-corner. That means it's difficult to produce smooth progress, meaning we appeared taking control utilizing the manual shifts, which isn't in truth the point inside a car in this way with an auto box. No sporty pretensions inside C3's handling. Primary focus: this is ride comfort. Encourages relaxed driving style. Like we've mentioned Awachi, Citroën knows its customers want comfort over sporty handling. Therefore, the C3 isn't about to set the global light with sharp steering and taut body control. That said, body roll is saved in check fairly well, and also the light steering means it's an easy task to place the car about the road. There's very little feedback though, so it's not a vehicle that encourages one to watch it by way of a series of bends with any real eagerness. It's certainly superior suited to driving about where its light controls help it become very easy to maneuver. Go too hot right into a corner, and also the front end will easily wash wide. It's safe and fairly predictable, but won't feel especially rewarding for enthusiastic drivers. We're not about to make a lot of comparisons together with the sharper Ford Fiesta and Mazda 2, though. The quirky and comfy nature on the C3 means you drive it in the relaxed manner. Interesting looking dash but hard plastics used. It may be personalized with various colors. Multimedia touchscreen, a huge improvement. Behind the wheel with the C3 is often a very pleasant place indeed. It's very easy to find a cozy driving position, so you don't think that you're sitting too much up as if you do to use C4 Cactus stablemate. The seats are much more supportive, using the driver feeling a lot more they're sitting within a C3 instead of on it. There aren't way too many soft touch plastics to discuss of. Even so, the dash design is appealing, having a choice of different trims and colorful touches that give a bit of visual interest. 3 trim levels from which to choose. The great news is you'll be able to choose from 3 different cabin trims in every model. You don't need to specify top-spec flare trim to have a certain interior. The touchscreen infotainment system is surely an improvement on other Citroën systems, too. However, the touch-sensitive buttons about the outside still desire a good prod. Also, it's annoying to want to change screens to get into the climate control, but Apple CarPlay and MirrorLink are generally present and correct, while Android Auto became easily obtainable in early 2017. Citroën's aimed at its comfort-biased heritage. Lessons learned on the C4 Cactus. Panoramic roof option helps to make the cabin airier. The C3 plays its trump card in terms of comfort. Citroën knows its customers want and expect comfort over everything else in their cars, plus the C3 delivers with wide, spongy seats which can be still supportive, even though the ride itself is very forgiving, even in the harshest of speed bumps. Wind and road noise is just an issue at high speeds, but it's never overly intrusive. The C3 is really a very serene spot to spend time. Extra insulation continues to be added about the door frames to hold noise out, while even rear seat passengers are already thought about. The tops from the front seats are contoured so more light is fed through in the front for the back, unlike inside C4 Cactus in which the seat backs are almost completely square. Go with the optional panoramic sunroof to get even more light in the whole interior. Trio of trim levels for that C3 range. All include DAB radio and cruise control. Variety of personalization options. Despite its low cost, Citroën has piled a decent volume of standard equipment in the new C3. Standard Citroën C3 hatchback equipment. Entry-level touch trim kicks the C3 lineup with 15-inch steel wheels, a DAB radio, Bluetooth phone connectivity, cruise control, remote central locking, adjustment with the steering wheel, both reach and rake, split folding rear seats along with a tire pressure monitor. It also incorporates lane departure warning and traffic sign recognition as standard, and that is pretty generous, while it doesn't include aircon. Step approximately mid-range feel trim for a couple desirable extras, and then for some extra visual clout, including 16-inch alloy wheels, LED daytime running lights, a contrasting roof, gloss black door mirrors and the body-colored door handles. Inside, kit includes climate control, front and back electric windows, electrically adjustable door mirrors and Citroën's mirror-link technology named Mirror Screen, displaying Apple CarPlay about the 7.0-inch touchscreen infotainment display. Top-spec flare trim features Citroën's recognizable C4 cactus-style air bumps about the side on the car, colored surround with the fog lights and roof-colored door mirrors within the outside. Inside, there's a leather tire and gear knob, auto-dimming rear-view mirror and Citroën's connected cam integrated dash cam. There may also be automatic lights and wipers, dark-tinted rear windows, rear parking sensors and also a reversing camera to create life a little easier. Optional Citroën C3 hatchback accessories. Citroën claims you are able to create 36 combinations of body and roof colors, together with the option to incorporate different colors for most pieces of exterior trim, while there are a selection of interior ambience options available, too. Depending around the model you opt for, you'll be able to add a lot more visual drama with 17-inch alloy wheels dabbed through the C4 Cactus, plus a style pack adds black air bump and front fog lights, while you'll be able to remove the air bumps altogether at no extra cost. Optional extras include Satan on feel and flare models, keyless entry on flare models, and blind spot monitoring on range-topping flare likewise. You'll also be able to decorate up the Awachi pleasant interior that has a panoramic sunroof on top-spec models. That dash cam can be added to mid-spec feel models, as can a driver aid pack which include rear parking sensors, reversing camera and blind spot monitoring. If you're considering adding these options, it will be worth going for it and going for a highly regarded spec flare that Awachi incorporates most in this kit as standard. Awarded 4 stars for Euro NCAP crash tests. No autonomous emergency braking mechanism. Other safety aids can be obtained, though. The C3 could very well go up resistant to the likes on the Ford Fiesta and Vauxhall Corsa, but by considering it you'd swear it was from the class above. It's not only a small car. That's very good news for Practicality fans then, as there's a lot of space inside. Up front the dash apes that from the larger C4 Cactus with clever storage ideas and many space. The back isn't quite so good if you will discover taller occupants inside the front, but it's still decent for an automobile of this size. Citroën's keen to indicate that the C3 includes a 6.25-liter glove box, but don't get too excited, right-hand drive versions won't understand because the fuse box is within the way and won't be moved, so it's a great thing the door bins can be a decent size along with the storage pockets. Areas about the gear lever are a lot more usable than those from the Cactus. Lots of storage for bits and pieces. Glove box pitifully small on UK cars. One with the largest boots in their class. The C3 could very well go up from the likes with the Ford Fiesta and Vauxhall Corsa, but simply by considering it you'd swear it was inside the class above. It's not really a small car. That's very good news for Practicality fans then, as there's a lot of space inside. Up front the dash apes that with the larger C4 Cactus with clever storage ideas and many space. The back isn't quite so good if you will discover taller occupants inside front, but it's still decent for an auto of this size. The boot can be a generous 300 liters, which can be larger as opposed to VW Polo, Peugeot 208 and Renault Clio, even though Kia Rio runs it close and there's a good high loading lip to heft heavy affordable handbags over. Fold on the back seats and load space increases to 922 liters. Citroën's keen to say that the C3 carries a 6.25-liter glove box, but don't get too excited. Right-hand drive versions won't understand this because the fuse box is inside way and won't be moved, so it's a positive thing. The door bins undoubtedly are a decent size, along with the storage pockets. Areas across the gear lever are considerably more usable than those within the Cactus. The boot is really a generous 300 liters, that is larger as opposed to VW Polo, Peugeot 208 and Renault Clio. Even though Kia Rio runs it close and there's a serious high-loading lip to heft heavy bags over. Fold about the back seats and load space increases to 922 liters.